Hello everybody, Realm Builder Guy here, and welcome back to Crusader Kings 3 and the channel. And the life of Richard the Lionheart, King of England, continues here today. Thank you everybody for watching the series. If you wouldn't mind, as always, hitting that like button. It definitely helps boost the channel and the series. It is the easiest way to support the channel. So, in the last episode, of course, Richard became King of England after killing his niece. But whatever, that doesn't, or having someone do it. He didn't do it. I mean, he absolutely did not. All right, so we've got a war all the way over here that we could kind of send troops to deal with. I'm kind of hoping the Hanoverians can just take this without me having to send troops. But it looks like Army of Krakow is coming. How's this looking here in general? I mean, they're about to lose this war. Don't quite know why that guy's in the red with us. But this is... I guess we could send some troops out there to deal. Poland right now, they're at war with the Holy Roman Empire. Let's actually take a look here in the year 1200. What's the map look like? We have the Ayyubids in control here. The Seljuks are very, very small. Pontus exists, which is kind of interesting, part of the Seljuks. But the Ayyubids, this is the big one. The big one sitting right here. And then right here, we have Jerusalem. Queen Sibylla of Jerusalem. Just tiny little thing left. And here in Tripoli, we've got Duke Raymond of Toulouse in Tripoli. So there are still some Crusader states left, but not a whole lot. We see here, we've got Armenia sitting right there. The Byzantines have definitely shrunk a bit. Then we've got the Gurids here. This is all kinds of messed up. So we're going to ignore that. Cumania is huge. Hungary sitting here. Poland, Novgorod, Sweden, Norway, Denmark. And then, of course, we have the Iberian Peninsula. And then down here, we've got the D'Hautevilles, King Bohemond of Sicily in control here. Who sits now at the throne of the Holy Roman Empire is Kaiser Hermann of the Zeringen-Baden family. And in France, of course, we still have King Philippe II Augustus, sitting there at 34. So we could send some troops up here if need be. Don't really want it to be, but so be it. It's just kind of what it is at this point. The comfort of a friend. There are a few things I enjoy more than Queen Mother Joanne's company. It really eased my mind to have a quiet evening inside together, drinking wine and talking about our problems. After the short break, I was once again ready to take on my duties. Thank you so much. Lose 10 stress. Do I send troops out here? Do I not send troops out here? I don't know if I want to raise all of the armies to deal with that. The sooner that war ends, the better. It doesn't really look like much is happening. They're just kind of sitting there, waiting. And to send an expeditionary force all the way out there. Don't really know if I want to do that. We, of course, are the head of the culture of the English culture group. So, let's see. What do we have here? What's still to be done? This is all the stuff that's still cultural and religion. English culture is not present in Francia. So really we've kind of done everything there is to do. Could go back and... No, this is all taken care of. Then Catholicism, of course, we have our house. Let's open the legacies. So we're working on here. We still have a long ways to go before we can do anything else there, so just kind of hanging right now. What about our realm? Well, cannot increase crown authority until 1204. And the main reason why I want to do that is we want to change our laws here. Primogeniture would be the best one. Everyone approves, but we do not have high crown authority. So we need to get high crown authority, and we need to wait a few years before we can do that. Once that's been achieved, well, then we can take that. And here, they're just kind of hanging out. And do I really want to go to the pain of raising all of our armies? I don't know if I want to do that. We just raise our men-at-arms. Camp dispute. After my army sets up camp, I hear a commotion coming from the knights' lodgings. They're in the middle of Prince Philippe and Viscount Guillaume are in heated argument, while several onlookers edge them on. Deliver a speech about unity to the crowd. Well, that's what we're going to do. Brawl. My pleas for us to all put aside our differences fall on deaf ears as the spat turns into an all-out brawl. Drinks and food go flying as people start throwing tankers and packs around. Well, you know what? Might as well join in 150 prestige and 100 martial experience. Okay, so we've got men-at-arms here. He's 1,500. Samur, my king, you are currently in possession of someplace that should be mine. My traitorous vassal, Viscount Guy, has come before me insisting that I grant him the earldom of Samur. Should receive that. I am arrogant. Samur belongs to me. Alright, so let's send this troop. We're gonna have a different commander, though. Guillaume. No, Guillaume. You can lead this kind of, let's call it an expeditionary force, all the way to Hanover. Have fun out there. Good luck. Good luck. Call me when you get there. Maybe send me a text, and just let me know you got there safely. Smallpox, a killer in our midst. The curse of death has fallen upon my court. In case of smallpox has been discovered, the unfortunate victim is my guest Goda. Taint possessing her flesh is a danger to us all. While she remains afflicted, no life at court is safe. Isolate her and pray for redemption. Maybe I should have gone to war and led my army and get away from my smallpox-infested court. Strategical impasse. I'm sitting around the map table with Count Guillaume and Lord Henry, discussing our strategy for the ongoing war. Guillaume bangs his fist on the table and loudly proclaims we should charge the enemy directly and crush them with the sheer might of our armies, while Henry nervously mutters about how we should avoid unnecessary engagements and fight a war of attrition. It is my right to decide our ultimate course of action. I know how we employ both strategies. Hey, let's just go with that. A new day. The outbreak of smallpox, which has ravaged my courts, is finally over. Its victims have all either recovered or departed from this world. Court physician Mary assures me that all bodies have been properly disposed of, that the threat is completely gone. Finally, we are safe. Good. Saint in heaven, Boleslav the theologian was a true exemplar of the Christian faith, living a pious and inspiring life. In a grand announcement, Pope Nicholas has decided to include Boleslav the theologian among the venerated ancestors of old. Many tales are told about the feats Boleslav did in life, and he will be an inspiration for our descendants in the years to come. It is a great honor for the family of the Blessed One, and may we all aspire to follow in his footsteps. Great. Okay, so in the meantime, we've got our army of Angers arriving in Hanover, and now they can head south and maybe just take care of the stupid war. Oh, the ally now shows up to the fearless King Richard. Your balanced laugh is like pretty nice pebbles. I really want to feel your lips touch mine I may know the depths of your love. Your wife is loathsome, but I am perspective. Abandon this foolish endeavor immediately. Okay. Hate your wife. So, how about it? Some people. All right, so we got 6 months here to take Hildesheim. And then that siege is done and dusted, and then that war will be over, and we can disband our troops, go home, and see what we can do to strengthen England. Oh, if Adolf von Dassel in here? Okay. Nah, we'll just hold on to him for a little bit. We can imprison the Duchess Costanza. Don't really need to do that, so I'm not interested. Let's see here. First in line for Barry. A few here we can inherit. I'm not worried about that. We can create a lot of titles, which I'm not interested in doing right now. Can transfer her, or that one. We will, and we did. And other than that, can unlock a martial perk. Great. Let's do that whilst the siege is happening. So we can go Parthian tactics. So heavy cav gets toughness pursuit bonus, as does light cav and skirmisher damage and toughness. Organized march, so movement speed goes up. I like that because that gets us around everything. Siege weapon effectiveness plus 40%, engineer for destruction, and naval speed plus 25%. We have to do everything. I like living off the land, by the way, because that increases your supply capacity by 200%. So I think we're going to do here engineered for destruction. Anything that boosts siege warfare, I am all about. Got a little skirmish here with this cute little army. And now we continue on here. And in a few days, we'll have won this siege, and then that kind of ends that. There you go. Done and dusted. And now we just need these guys to enforce the demands, which, of course, we can't do. We have to wait for them to do it. There, victory, so be it. We can disband our armies to go back home. And that was a quick little war to aid an ally. Rise of the Mongols. Word has reached me that a new leader has risen up among the barbarian tribes of the distant steppes. This Kagan Temujin has declared himself the ruler of the universe, Genghis Khan, and has sworn to conquer the entire world. He is not the first to make that threat, but the story goes that the Kagan rides at the head of a horde of invincible horsemen that cannot be killed. I doubt they'll get very far. So let's look at the map. It hasn't happened yet, but it's going to happen here at some point. There's going to unify, and then we'll have the Mongols. So anyway, let's hit pause here real quick. I do feel like we need to strengthen. We can't create more men-at-arms, but I do want to build up some more. So we got our armored horsemen, bowmen, light footmen, crossbowmen, armored horsemen. We got 2 regiments of armored horsemen. You know what? We do not need that. So we're going to destroy one of them. We've got armored footmen, bowmen, light footmen, and we have our trebuchets. What could be... did I just raise all of my men-at-arms by accident? Whoops. We'll get rid of that. Hit the wrong button. Create men-at-arms regiment. Let's see here. I mean, trebuchet is really the most powerful one. We can add a regiment of light horsemen or pikemen. Pikemen in hills, desert mountains. They counter cavalry. We don't have any pikemen. Damage, so we're going to create pikemen. We're going to spend some more money here. Let's add some bowmen. They help against skirmishers, so we're going to bump those guys up. We're going to spend a little bit of money here. These guys counter heavy infantry. They're relatively inexpensive. They counter. They are heavy infantry, so they counter spearmen. We'll bump those guys up. Crossbowmen, we've got plenty. Let's bump up our trebuchets a little bit. And I think that should do it for right now. We've got a good amount of levies and men-at-arms. We could recruit another knight of better standing here. Borel. Recruit him to court. That's 10 gold. And so, we've kind of maxed that out a little bit. And now we can kind of strategize while the game kind of ticks forward. And what we want to do. I think expanding England would be a good move for Richard in trying to conquer Wales. So let's take a quick look at the Welsh. So we have Lord Idwalham. That would be a pretty easy one. We have Gwynedd here. None of them have any allies. I mean, the Welsh are all completely isolated. So that would be one way to go. Look up north, we've got the Isle of Man, also completely isolated. And then we've got Connacht. They are allied with Brittany, one of our vassals. So that would neutralize there. We've got Oriel, we've got Ulster. They are allied with Lennox. And the Kingdom of Scotland. And so we've got a few that would be easier picking. Scotland, of course, is an ally of ours. Going after Scotland would be an interesting one. And then, of course, there is trying to kick out the Norwegians. Finally. But I think the first play will have to be to take, the Welsh. So we can either go south or go right after Gwynedd. I think going after Gwynedd might not be a bad move. We take a quick look here. You do not have a casus belli. Okay, so petition him for a claim. He will not accept. We have a casus belli here. We do. Lord Henry's claim. Lord Henry gains the contested title. It would be a relatively quick little war. So we will need to fabricate claims. Let's see here. So we will go to our council and fabricate a claim. Let's fabricate a claim right up here. Wait for that to happen. In the meantime, we can go after him and take his lands for one of our vassals, which I'm perfectly fine with. But what I do want to do is change our rally point. And we're going to move the rally point to right there. And then go in here. And we will declare war for Lord Henry's claims. We will declare that war. We will raise our armies. And this should be a pretty quick war. I think Richard this isn't really the war he wants to lead. So Count Guillaume. Or Count Guillaume. Guillaume, you get to lead this army and this, which should be a pretty fast war. We have the battle here, which we should win quite easily, and then we will just take that for our vassal and call it good. So this siege will take 5 months, and I will see you once that's done. Growing strong. The weakness that has plagued my son since his birth has finally released its hold on him. Relief washes over me as I see Henry running around with all the other children. He's no longer sickly. My half-brother has been released. We're going to take a look at him. Prince William of England. Oh, we've got another army that has come in here. Not too worried about that. We're going to continue with that. what I do want to look here are factions against us. Princess Matilda of England, my sister. And my half-brother Prince William is part of this. My sister is pushing for this. She has a lot of claims, a lot of children. What could we do to her? Denounce Matilda. Dynasty head interaction. This will give all members of your dynasty imprisonment against her. Can't disinherit her. Try to murder her. The chance is very, very low. Viscount Guy of Tours. Now, him we could try to imprison, but that's not going to go well. What if we try to murder him? Ugh, that's not a good chance there. And what about our half-brother? What is the chance of a murder scheme there? Not very good. This is just something we need to keep an eye on. But this war will be done here relatively soon. Just a little something. Our sister Marie has died. Okay. So is that this faction here? No, that was Matilda. Sorry, not Marie. Neighboring ruler won a war. Of course, we have our internal strife here as well. Occasionally some vassals kicking off, but not overly concerned with that, as this siege will be done in a few days. Here comes a small enemy army coming in, and we will have a little skirmish that will be over pretty quickly. Call to war. The thoughtful king of Richard, I call on you on our alliance. Join me. Scottish de Jure war for the earldom of Caithness against the king of Norway. Yes, I will accept this war. If we can push the Norwegians out of the British Isles, that would be a huge, huge victory for us. All right, so we've won that. And now we can enforce the demands. So be it. Perfect. So now that has become part of our domain. And now let's take a look here at this pending war with the defenders, which is the Kingdom of Norway. No allies, 1,300 troops. It looks like the Scottish are setting sail for Norway itself. Now what I'm going to do instead, we are going to send these troops north and to conquer. It's above our supply limit, so I mean it's not great, but we could send our troops all the way north to try to take these lands. So they're gonna get on a boat and head up north to try to push them out there. So 10,000 strong English army. And I know attrition and so on, but I'm not overly concerned because the Norwegians don't have a very strong force. The Scottish army looks like they're going to be setting sail for Norway directly. And we can do a little island hopping here. We can conquer some of these islands up here. Yeah, I think the Orkney Islands and so on. So the Scottish are there. Our troops have now arrived here, as have the Scottish. So I thought they were setting sail for mainland Norway, but they are not, which is smart, actually. Going in here and sieging down their holdings in Scotland is the right strategy. Us reinforce the death of Prince George of England, your son. Prince Henry of England is your new player heir, outliving a child. George has been murdered. I had so many hopes for you, my sweetest child. All the things you would learn, experience, and do. There were so many possibilities, a whole life to live. Maybe you would have had children of your own one day. But now, none of those things will ever come to be. Rest in peace, George. Aw. But now it's Henry is the heir apparent to the throne of England. I wonder if he's going to be in peril as well. Gotta keep an eye on that. How are we looking here? Progress. Getting there. Once we get that claim, we can start slowly but surely making our way through Wales. Now, of course, eventually Scotland may have to fall to us. All right, so we've taken care of that. Let's move up north to the Orkney Islands and take that. And we could eventually set sail for Norway proper, if we so chose. But again, this is a war for Scotland. Let's see, there's a small Norwegian army here that the Scottish army should handle pretty easily, so I'm not going to worry myself with that. Instead, we are up here besieging the Orkney Islands, and then maybe we'll just keep going here. Victory, so be it. We won the war of King William the Lion against King of Norway. Oh, that was pretty painless. Queen Agnes is now pregnant. Excellent. So the Norwegians still have a little bit of a foothold, but not for long. I think eventually us or the Scottish maybe with our help will take that. I don't really plan on expanding our holdings in France at this time. I don't think Richard, that's not really something he'd be overly interested in. I mean, maybe, Languedoc, I was just about to say it. These guys here, they're allied with King Bela of Hungary. Got a pretty decent army. Declare a war. What claims? Tiny claims. So, yeah, I'm not overly concerned with that. Now, we can, of course, create titles to grant us claims. Now, that is something we could do. King Richard, my dear songbird, I call on you to honor our alliance and join me in the French claim on the Duchy of Toulouse. So this will be a war against the aforementioned ones down there. So we will accept this. And now we will, of course, move our rally point back down south to our French holdings right here in Angers. We'll take that, and we will move our rally point there, and we will raise all of our armies in our lands. And once they are fully raised, we will head south to support. We see this massive French army heading south. We will now move these armies here together real quick. And King Richard will lead this army because, of course, this the French here, it is definite, it is a must to support King Philippe, as they are so close, in heading south to try to take care of Toulouse. I think what we will do is we will head in this way and move our troops. Let's move our troops right here. And then kind of see what the enemy does from there. Greetings, King Richard of England. I have prowled through documents both ancient and, well, of less certain provenance. I have finally enough material to make the case. You are the rightful lord of the lordship of sorry, I can't speak. That's Perfethwood? I don't know. See it done. We'll get that claim. And we will continue to fabricate claims here. We'll just get claims on everything here, on all of Philip the Confessor is now a saint, okay, on all of Wales, slowly but surely getting claims there, and then we can proceed with our conquest of Wales. But right now I think this is a good place to end today's episode, just before we support the French and their conquest down here. I don't mind a close ally like them gaining these lands. I really don't have a strategic interest in it, also from a historical context. I am more interested in conquering Wales, maybe Ireland. I definitely want to get the Norwegians out of the British Isles. Of course, eventually a war with Scotland is kind of inevitable. But what I'm really doing here is kind of buying our time to get to the point that a new crusade comes, because that is one of the things I desperately want Richard to do in his life still, and that is go on crusade. If you agree with that, please hit that like button. Let me know your thoughts so far on this series and kind of what direction we should go. If we, supporting France here and their claims and their growth, whilst at the same time trying to expand English conquests of the British Isles. So until next time, I'm Realm Builder Guy, and I will talk to you soon.